logic.
Welcome to an All Reason No Logic 1v1 on Geyser Plains. Joining me in the casting booth is Tank Tom as we watch Pigs TV playing as Armada as an OS 10 playing against Winera, another Armada commander, it's OS 17. This is part of our continued series of Pigs trying to increase his play until he manages to score a 50% win rate against us. This map is a wide open map with all of these craters being traversable by both bots and vehicles, so huge amounts of options here, and the question is, do you want to go for mobility or do you want to go for pushing power, I guess you could say, with the tanks?
Winera going into vehicles and Pigs going into bots to start off with. I think this is the first time that we've had Winera and Pigs face off against each other, so it'll be interesting to see how they match up.
Yep. Pigs is known for his heavy bot aggression early on, but he tends to struggle with the eco transition as the game goes through. We'll see whether or not he's able to overcome those struggles today and take one from Winera.
I think that's something that all of us have messed up plenty of times, trying to get the feel of exactly when to go T2 and how to get through it without stalling. Definitely take some practice.
Something
Really
which
start from Pigs with a couple of constructors out of the gate.
this is quite a change from Pigs. He usually gets one mate at most, and then goes straight into either ticks or pawns to get across the map and get that scouting information. So this time it's going to be him that's on the back foot for scouting, with a rover coming across. Pigs building more solar collectors, which is a heavy metal investment, and right now he does not have the metal to complete it. So that's going to delay that pawn and potentially let the rover get on in and take a mechs. Depends on how good his reactions are. So right now the rover is getting a couple shots onto the construction bot. It's going to come down to positioning as to whether he can take it off. Pig's not dragging the pawn far enough, which means that he's going to get the constructor, so the early constructor play not quite working out, only gaining one mechs, but he does still have the other one going in the other direction, so we will see whether or not that is capable of getting him the eco advantage.
Up to be able to repel that rover. I know I've had a few bases lost to similar things. However, these blitzers on the way in are going to be much more of a struggle against what's going to be 3 pawns, but not in a line to fight them. So those blitzers should definitely have the advantage.
Spreading the pawns is not what needed to happen just there. Blitz is actually going for the construction bot, not into the base. Yeah.
And I don't mind that, knowing that there is a constructor up there. That's going to hurt the eco.
Yeah, so that is a good little bit of damage from Winera out of the gate. And Pigs is definitely on the back foot. This aggression has meant that Winera has been able to get his expansion up, no worries. He's got a constructor out heading to all the different mechs points and looking to get a geo, so keeping Pigs on the back foot is allowing him to have a reasonably open play of the map.
Pigs does have a decent army, but he doesn't have much to continue producing that army as this fight's going to extend out.
He's also got them quite spread out, and sometimes what you need is to get that firepower on track. It looks like he's sending...
see those couple across the top?
Yep, sending those ones across the top. They're going... It looks like they're actually going to catch a construction vehicle, which is just heading up over there. And Pawn's heading out to the middle of the map, so Pigs is trying to reclaim some level of map control. The blitzers moving in, they're probably going to... Yeah, the radar has allowed Winera to see those pawns coming in. He pulls back the construction vehicle.
Pigs hasn't been able to see anything yet when you're doing a scouting run. At this stage of the game, those could largely be sacrificial, but you're generally better off to run them all the way in to be able to see what's going on rather than leave them part way, and that looks to be exactly what he's doing now. And he should be able to get some damage off on these.
This is quite a wide angle of attack from Pigs, so if he can control all the units, he should do quite well. Unfortunately, walking right past those mexes, but he does get 2 pawns into the back line.
Okay.
This is a lot of damage. In fact, that was about half of the energy production for Winera.
Yeah, and that puts pigs back into the lead for energy production if you look up in the top right. So whilst Winera had the lead early, pigs looks to have evened that out relatively convincingly, at least for this moment in time.
And again, it is army advantage for pigs with those pawns. If they can get their firepower on, then they should be able to take out those blitzers and the Janus. But with this kiting happening, not quite so strong.
Good decision from pigs there. You either have to commit to surrounding the Janus and killing it, or leaving it be for now. He's got some pawns heading down to that bottom side again, knowing that there's probably going to be some expansion going on, and that it will largely be undefended, and he's found that constructor, and he's going to get those couple of mexes.
Splitting them up is
well.
absolutely fantastic here. He's taken out the mexes, he's going to take out the builder, the geo, and all he has to do is send one more down to the bottom to reset Winera's eco. So even though Winera has been mostly working ahead on the eco, this is soon to be a nice little reset. But more energy taken out by pigs. So pigs' constant aggression is
This is showing some of that experience that pigs has been gaining in these 1v1s, knowing that there is that expansion that's going on, and if you can contain that and get some damage on the bases.
This is one of the reasons why your chevrons and your OS score don't always tell the entire story, as we've had chat commentating this entire time, worrying that the game is a little bit on the unfair side, but based on all of this harassment, Pigs is holding his own very, very strongly. Again, more energy damage. Winera just cannot get that energy up.
And
no
it's a
investment
horrible feeling when you're in Winera's position and you just keep on losing energy after energy and you just can't get the base going. Whereas Pigs is in a relatively stable position. Would love to see a constructor heading out to build some of those mexes again.
Yeah, Pigs definitely needs to... This is one of the areas that we talked about at the beginning of the game. Pigs is fantastic with that aggression, but he doesn't quite get that eco transition going. He's just now sending those constructors out to build more eco, but he's left them for a very long time. That has allowed him to get some of this early aggression going on, but it certainly means that despite the continuous fighting, Winera has so much reclaim that he can take advantage of from all of the corpses on his side of the map. And the extra eco from those side lanes where he has managed to keep some of that eco.
Good to see Pigs splitting those constructors up so that he can get more of those mexes. The question will be whether he can keep those builders alive. We can see Winera's got a scouting force coming through on that top side, which will pick up that constructor.
Something which
like we've
finally
got some
getting
coming down to support this bottom constructor as well.
Winera finally able to get a reprieve on that constant aggression inside of his base long enough. He's now got an LLT at the front, and he is in a position where he could get an LLT in the back. Build Turret has been reclaiming some bits and pieces of the metal, so as long as he can get some of that eco running, he can get some of that energy up and running, build power up and running, he should be in a good spot. Blitzers try to run on through, but they are intercepted by Pigs. But coming from the other side, cleaning up those mexes, we now have Blitzers in the back line, taking out the Wind, taking out the Solars, taking out some of the mexes. This is a big amount of damage for Winera. In fact, that's almost all the energy down for Pigs.
One of the rough things that happened to Pigs there, which has happened to me in a few of the games, if you don't have any move paths through your base, then you end up getting stuck on the other side and you can't move through to stop some of those kind of engagements.
All of that metal that was donated to Winera is now in a group of 9 blitzers that are heading across the map. This very potentially could be game-ending damage. Pigs did very well to keep up with the constant harassment at the start, but he wasn't able to capitalize on that and get the eco rolling in the background. So all of that all of the additional metal donated over to that side has kept Winera in the game and has put him in a spot to take this one. It looks like with
And without the energy, Pigs doesn't have a D gun available to him anymore.
and with that surround bonus, those blitzers are going to get the comm, and that is a GG. Quick look at the statistics, because this one should actually be quite interesting if we jump in and look at the graphs. If we look at the damage dealt, it's Winera favored for the first 6 minutes or so, but Pigs, starting from about 5 minutes, which is when he harassed, all the way through to 9 minutes, look at the angle on that graph. He really was in the base, and he really was dealing damage. And that will be reflected in the energy production, where Pigs has a very constant line, and Winera's is constantly dipping down as all of that harassment comes on through. From the 5 to 9 minute mark, Pigs is actually pulling ahead. With the metal produced, we see that Winera, because of that early expansion, managed to get an early lead, and all those little rises there, that's from the reclaim, and those are what is separating those two lines. Pigs staying constant all the way from the 2 minute mark to the 8 minute mark. And that is where the game turned around for Pigs. He did very well, but unfortunately wasn't able to clinch the victory. If you enjoy...
great to see the swing from both sides. Some of the experience coming out from Pigs in that early game, but Winera coming through, being able to keep his base rolling, even if it did get very close to crippling more than once. But good aggression from both sides.
If you enjoyed that match, leave a like, subscribe, and a comment. If you want to play a 1v1 with us, or if you want to submit a replay, jump in on the Discord. Thanks everyone for watching, and we'll catch you next time.
See ya.